Hey everybody, I'm John Farrar with Fast Paced Personal Training, and today I'm going to be telling you all about optimal fat loss, how to put together exactly what to do and all the little pieces in your week to make sure you keep leaning out and the fat keeps coming off. Here we go. Alright, so you're here because you want to optimize your fat loss, you want to increase the rate you're losing fat, and you want to keep moving forward to those goals, trim down, and really love your body and love the life you're living. That's exactly what I believe everyone's goal should be. And as I always say in the tagline, love your life and love the body you're living it in. So with all that said, there's a handful of things you need to do. And if you've seen earlier videos or an earlier email, there's 5 pieces that you need to look at to make sure you get the body composition you want. And those pieces are going to be number 1, nutrition. Number 2 is your activity and workouts. But then the big ones that throw you off are your sleep, your stress, your water. Those are the big important ones that are easier to make part of your life, but will throw your nutrition and your workout habits out of whack. And the reason that people walk around fit year round is because they have 4 other traits that you need to slowly change your mindset to be part of. Those 4 traits are regular commitment, they're going to be your habits, they're going to be your priorities, as well as your standards. So commitment. I'm going to commit regularly to living the healthy life that I want to do. I also love desserts. So on a weekly basis, I'm going to have 1 or 2 desserts and I'm going to enjoy it. And I know I'm not going towards my fitness goals and I might have a little bit extra, but hey, I still am fit. I can take off my shirt and be confident when I walk down the beach. Secondly is going to be your habits. Waking up, doing the right thing, making sure I get regular activities and I put healthy foods in my body daily. Number 3 is your list of priorities. Now we all have family, we all have work and things that we have to do. We have our responsibilities. So as a priority, if I have a friend I'm going to meet for coffee, say it was in the middle of the pandemic, and my boss called me or a client calls me or something happens and I have to reschedule, I would definitely reschedule. I would call, I'd be courteous, I would tell my friend what happened, and I would reschedule. The same as my workout. If some crap hits the fan and I have to go run to an emergency and it's in the middle of my workout, that's fine, but I'm going to reschedule my workout. It's a big enough priority to me that I make sure I reschedule it. And the last one is standards. And this is similar to priorities, but a little different. It's the standard you have for yourself. A standard that I have that a lot of people, I'm guessing like yourself, do have also is I brush my teeth every night before I go to bed. They're not white because I brushed them for 2 hours today. They're white because I brushed them 2 minutes twice a day the last 30 years. So that's what makes it work. It's not going to the gym 3 hours one day. It's going regularly 4 to 6 times a week, 30 minutes to 90 minutes on a regular continual basis, doing those regular activities. But then life happens. I missed a workout. I ate poorly. That's fine. If I have a bad meal, the next day I'm back on plan. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty part, the part I haven't talked about before. We want to increase the rate you're losing fat. Now, as long as you're in a caloric deficit at the end of the day, you're going to slowly lose. Now, there's a lot of pieces inside of this that people do not realize. Foods are not equal. 2,000 calories of glazed donuts is not 2,000 calories of grilled chicken, broccoli, and rice. I have a list of foods that I give away for free on my website. Feel free to grab it. And I recommend eating broccoli and avocados. Now, say I eat 300 calories of broccoli steamed, or I eat 300 calories of avocado. The 300 calories of broccoli is going to take over 200 calories of my energy to break it down and digest it because there's so much fiber. The avocado, on the other hand, is going to take about 30 calories to break it down and digest it. So I put in 300 calories of superfoods, except now my expenditure is completely different. This is just to show you that everything is not equal. Secondly, people's metabolisms are different across the day. If you have more muscle mass, you're going to burn calories faster. 1 calorie is 1 unit of energy. So if I have a 200-pound person, I'm 240 pounds, every time I stand up and sit down, it takes X amount of calories to move my body. If you're a smaller person, it takes less calories. So it all has to be balanced to you. Lastly, is how do we make this work? Okay, so what I'm going to get into now is exactly how to put it together for yourself. You have to think about what's going to be long term. The number 1 thing is basing it around your vegetables. Vegetables are obviously, a lot of people don't like them. It's like pulling teeth to get my 7 and 8-year-old to eat them. So that's where we got to make them palatable. You got to make them enjoyable. And I'm sure some of you are yelling at me right now, I love vegetables. I do too. I know people also don't. So what we want to do is find ways to enjoy a large amount of vegetables. If I put all of my food on a tray, at the end of the day, it should be over 50% full of vegetables. And I do eat meat. If you're vegan, that's fine. This will work for you too. But the main thing you gotta think about as vegans is vegetables are filling that tray. Where I see a lot of vegans miss it is they're filling up on starches with grains, potatoes, pastas, and other types of starchy vegetables where you need the leafy greens and the fibrous vegetables. Those are where you're gonna get most of your macronutrients. That's gonna help your gut flora. That's gonna help you flourish. Now, yes, we wanna gain muscle, so we wanna have those proteins too. Broccoli has just as much protein as beef. So you can get lots of protein from your vegetables. So now we're going into turning up this fat loss. What you're gonna do next is break out the day of eating. So if you know you break even right around 2,000 calories, that's how much your body burns on an average day with digestion, with your daily activities, with keeping your body at 98.6 degrees, your heart beating, your lungs breathing. That's gonna be your regular metabolism. Then your workout should be on top of your regular metabolism. So if I burn 2,000 calories, my RMR is probably somewhere around 16 to 1,800 calories. You don't want to take your food intake under your RMR. Doing this for a long period of time will start slowing the metabolism. Doing it for a day won't hurt you at all. Doing it 2 days won't hurt you at all. It takes at least 3 days, if not longer, of eating really low before your whole metabolism starts slowing down. And this is why a lot of bodybuilders go into carb cycling. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut down to about that RMR in calories. So if you're 2,000 calorie diet, we're going to drop you to 16 to 18 range, right in there. Now, we're going to get 1/3 of your calories from vegetables. We're going to have 1/3 of protein. Lastly, you're going to have a little bit of grains. So if you're in a 2,000 calorie diet, you're probably going to have about 40 to 50 grams of simple carbohydrates like rice, oatmeal, sweet potato. Now we need to break all this up into 4 meals. This is where you have to think about your day. When do you want to eat? And when's it going to be convenient for you? Because if it's all convenient, that's what's going to make it long term, to make it consistent, which is going to get you to your goal. So let's make it consistent, and now let's make it enjoyable. If you think about prepping food and you don't have time, one quick way that you can make it quickly is a crock pot. You throw in the chicken, you throw in some beef broth or bone broth, you throw in all your vegetables, you put it on low, you leave, you come back 8 hours later, all of that's cooked together. All those spices, all of the different flavors from the different vegetables and everything else with the meats is intermixed. It's delicious. Other ways you can do it, when you have dinner at night, you can get a double portion. The next day, you're gonna take the leftovers for your lunch. So when you're at night cooking, I make my plate, I also have a piece of Tupperware, I put that piece of Tupperware in the refrigerator, that's my lunch for tomorrow. Third way, make a really big breakfast. I've done this many times where I'll put 4 whole eggs, 2 cups of liquid egg whites, some ground turkey, and I'll put it on a bunch of vegetables. And I'll quickly put half of that into Tupperware, and that's gonna be my first and second meal. Another way to make it quick and easy meal prep is go somewhere Whole Foods, Safeway, Lucky's, Publix, Kroger, whatever grocery store is near you, and you go to the bar of already cooked food. You get the salad box. Now you're not gonna make a salad. You're gonna get 3 of these boxes. One, you're gonna fill up with a protein, whether it's chicken, fish, beef, whatever you like. You're gonna fill another one up with vegetables. You're gonna fill another one up with a grain or sweet potatoes. And truthfully, you probably need 2 boxes of the vegetables to make it balance, because we wanna have equal amount of vegetables to everything else. You bring those 4 boxes home. Your meal prep's done for 2 days. You put it into Tupperware for individual meals in the morning, and that's how you're gonna be able to keep yourself consistent. You have to plan. This is the biggest piece, a plan. Even if you don't have this, you're in a hotel, do a little research the night before. I'm gonna look up on a map, where am I gonna go? What restaurants are around me? Where could I grab something decent? So if you can quickly at night, even in your notes, text yourself your 4 meals, this is a huge thing that'll set you apart so you don't fall off the wagon. Most of the clients that I have, when they fall off, and everyone does, is when they're not prepared, when they're super stressed or super tired. So the next piece we're gonna be looking at is when you're traveling. So you're traveling, you come back home, you don't have any food, it's late. On the way home, you got Wi-Fi in the plane, you know when you're a few hours away. Instacart, this is another thing that I use regularly. I can have all my groceries delivered 2 hours away. So I'm on the plane home, I know I'm gonna land in an hour, it'll take me about an hour to get home. I can have the groceries getting delivered right about the same time I'm getting home, all paid for, done. If they get there 20 minutes before or after me, it doesn't matter. They can sit on my porch for 20 minutes. So it's trying to find these solutions to whatever problem you're having. Why is it hard for you to have good food around you? What can you do to make sure it's readily available and easy to access? That's what's going to make it consistent. Consistency is the key. The last piece I haven't talked about, we gotta enjoy the food you're having. So you can't just have plain boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, and brown rice. You eat that every day the rest of your life, you'll look like a Greek god and you're gonna hate your food. And that will make you fall off at one point or another. You won't make it the long term. So making it palatable, what do you like? Grab my grocery list below and then go through that. Pick out the things you like, balance it out, 50% vegetables, a quarter or whatever many grams of protein you need, and then a small amount of grains if you're losing. That's going to set you up for optimal fat loss. Now, what throws people off? It's when life hits you. The stressors, your neighbor's up all night, or you have a new baby and you're not sleeping, or you're super dehydrated. These pieces are pieces that you have to look out for, the potholes in the road ahead. What's going to throw you off course? Are you going to have a huge project that you have to get done and work really long hours? You got to plan a little bit ahead. Have somebody deliver the food and make sure it's going to be quality. If you're in another situation where possibly you have a loved one die, we all have to endure these kind of things, and they're tough. I've helped many clients go through them, and it is rough. I'm not downplaying the tough times in life, but having a plan to get around it so you can reach your goals is what's truly important. So look for those potholes. Know when you're going to be stressed out. Know when you're going to be extra busy. Know when you're going to lose sleep, and make a plan around it and try to get back on track. And that's what's going to get your body to exactly where you want it, because you've created consistency. So as I said earlier, love your life and love the body you live it in. Stay healthy, my friends.